Ferguson stopped him in September in Chicago. Salido stopped him in California in 07 as well in July. There he is, Sэмmi Ventura from Cardenas, Mexico. This is an opportunity of a lifetime for him to face Marco-Antoniio Barrera. As you take a look at the tail of the tape, it tells us a few things. Height, weight, exactly the same. Barrera has a couple of inches advantage in reach, and he is 1 year older than his Sэмmi Ventura. Take a look at the rules. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and only the referee can stop the fight. Marco-Antoniio Barrera will be making his way in. His last time out, he had to fight a 12-round unanimous decision loss with Manny Pacquiao for the WBC featherweight title at 126. Tonight he's in 11.5 pounds heavier, 137.5. In March of 07, he lost a 12-round decision to Juan Manuel Marquez, that is, for the WBC Super Featherweight title at 130. And here he comes to the Mexican music, Marco-Antoniio Barrera. Big wins over big-name fighters like Prince Nassim Hamed, 2 of 3 wins over Eric Morales. Beat the likes of Johnny Tapia, Kevin Kelly, Paulie Ayala, Robbie Peden. 2 big wars with Rocky Juarez. All the tools. Age and hard fights are the big question for him. How much longer can he go? This is a stay busy fight for him, his Alan Hopper. We'll get this one underway. Come on, Alan.
Don King Productions and CSI will now showcase a special lightweight attraction scheduled for 12 rounds.
汤金产业公司与中国成都体育产业有限责任公司共同为您奉献一场12轮的特别轻量级的无冕之战。
The ringside judges scoring the bout are
那么现在场外的计分裁判是
from Serbia, Alex Petrov.
来自塞尔维亚的阿莱克斯·佩拉格。
From Puerto Rico, Ramon Steidel.
来自波多黎各的拉蒙·泰斯德。
From Italy, Franco Simonelli.
来自意大利的弗兰哥·西米纳尔。
The referee in charge of the action from Nevada, Kenny Bayless.
那么场内的裁判是来自美国内华达的肯尼·白利斯。
WBC supervisor from USA, Bismarck Morales.
那么 WBC 的比赛监督是来自美国的比施马克·博雷斯。
Fighting out of the blue corner.
那么从蓝角出场的这位选手
He weighed in at 137.5 pounds.
他的体重是62.5公斤。
His professional record stands at 25 wins and 19 losses, with 20 of those wins coming by knockout.
他的职业战绩是25场胜，19场负，其中20场击倒。
He is from Mexico City, Mexico. Please welcome Sэмmi Ventura.
他是来自令人自豪的战斗之城墨西哥的卡德拉斯·萨米·阿拉瓦瑞茨。
Fighting out of the red corner.
那么将从红角出场的这位选手
He weighed in at 137.5 pounds.
他的体重是62.5公斤。
This man has been and continues to be one of the greatest fighters of this era.
这位选手曾经是，而且也将还继续是他这个级别最为伟大的选手。
He is a 5-time world champion in 3 separate weight divisions.
他曾经拿过了5次3个不同级别的世界冠军。他的目标是
His remaining goal is to become the first Mexican-born fighter to win a world title in 4 weight divisions.
他的目标是成为墨西哥历史上第一个赢得4个不同级别世界冠军头衔的选手。
His record is 63 wins against only 6 losses with 42 knockouts.
他的记录是63胜仅 6负42场击倒的辉煌纪录。
From Mexico City and the proud fighting country of Mexico.
来自墨西哥城的娃娃脸刺客。
He is the baby-faced assassin, Marco-Antonio Barrera.
这是来自墨西哥的娃娃脸刺客马克·安东尼奥·巴雷拉。
Translate.
好，好，现在裁判是在场上向两位选手介绍比赛规则，只能击倒腰带以上的位置。
We went over rules in dressing room. Keep the fight clean at all times. Protect yourself at all times. What I say, that's the way. Good luck. Touch gloves. That's my thing.
All right, don't go anyplace, folks. This one shouldn't last too long. Ventura is an opponent-type fighter. 7 of his last 10 fights dating back to April of 05. He's been knocked out inside of 4 rounds, and he's fighting one of the greatest fighters in the history of boxing, in Marco-Antonio Barrera, who, as you heard Alan Harper say, wants to win a 4th division championship. He's a 5-time world champion, so this is a keep it busy for Barrera. For Sэмmi Ventura, an opportunity of a lifetime to fight his hero from his country of Mexico. Let's see how he does. In the blue trunks to the right of your screen with the red shoes is Sэмmi Ventura. Marco-Antonio Barrera can open up anytime he wants with this guy, and he knows it. He's got very heavy hands. A terrific fighter, and he's not going to fool around with Ventura for too long, I don't expect. Double, triple jab in the face of Ventura, just positioning himself right now. Hasn't thrown a right hand yet. Sammy's in and out. Of course, it would be of great pride for Sэмmi Ventura, who's from Cardenas, Mexico. They announced him from Mexico City, but he's actually from Cardenas. For him to go back home and say, hey, I went the distance with Marco-Antonio Barrera. So that's what he's hoping to do, but it's not likely that will happen. Barrera really hasn't stepped it up yet. He's just sort of feeling this guy out here in round number 1. And he can turn it up anytime he wants. Coming off his loss to Manny Pacquiao in what was an absolute war. Prior to that, Juan Manuel Marquez for the WBC super featherweight title. That was a war. This guy has had all the tools. And again, because of the wars that he's been in, with the guys like Eric Morales and Tapia and Ayala and even Naseem Hamad and on you can go with him, Robbie Peden. You wonder, in spite of the fact he's only age 34, just how much longer he will fight and how much longer he wants to. In conversations with his people, he wants to get that 4th division title, so we'll see just how far he will go. But again, tonight is not a tune-up fight, it's just a stay busy fight for him. Recently signed with Don King, and Don wanted to bring him to Chendo to show these people what a great world champion is, but he really hasn't opened up against Ventura. It's almost like a sparring session right now. Not throwing his right hand with any malice or forethought. Just testing Ventura. Ventura hasn't been able to do anything with him at all. Again, like a sparring session. Now he starts to tune him up to the body with the left hook, does Barrera. Barrera in the black trunks with his back to you. Now he touches him to the forehead. Tests him with a little uppercut where he turns that thumb out and comes up with the left hand. It looks to me like Barrera's just getting a workout out there to me tonight. And the crowd might begin to realize it, that this isn't much of a fight at this stage, because Marco-Antonio Barrera is fighting like it's a sparring session. And the bell ends round number 1. I think the crowd would rather see him go ahead